A hot topic, obviously, right now, especially with the Survivor Series coming up in Chicago, CM Punk.
Yeah.
Did you ever have any interactions with him? And, you know, excuse me, did you ever think, what do you think about the idea of him coming back to WWE?
Oh man, I just hope he wrestles wherever it's going to be. If he comes to TNA, oh my God, that'd be wicked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a rumor. I mean, I've heard that the potentially he's been courted.
I've heard that too. I don't know. I have to talk to Scott if it's real. He said they haven't really been talking about it yet. But they were seen somewhere, having a bite to eat or something like that. But he'd be an incredible asset, because TNA obviously is trying to get back to the former glory days of that next level. Because when TNA was on Spike, the numbers they got are like current SmackDown numbers.
Yeah.
So TNA was huge.
Yeah.
And obviously there's a new change of guard and they're started from scratch and they had to clean house and reformulate the game plan and start building it piece by piece. And it's amazing there. Everyone just happy. Everyone works hard. It's a young group. They love being the underdog and they want to break through. They want to be a part of it when it breaks through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to get in that company when the stocks are cheap, because if it blows up, you're going to be rich.
Yeah. Well, that sounds a lot like the way it was back when Impact really, TNA started getting big. I mean, you had AJ Styles and Samoa Joe and all these guys. I have my own ring, and I did some work with TNA back, I think it was like 2009, 2010. It was when Bobby Roode had just went heel on James Storm and became the champion. And I mean, literally, it was the next day after he turned on him and won the belt. And we did a show in San Francisco and Sacramento. And the thing that was so shocking to me was that they were so over. I mean, and Samoa Joe, everyone knows these guys now, but back then, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, James Storm, these guys weren't really well known. But when they came through the crowd, they were so over. And they were also hungry, and they had guys like RVD and Bubba, Bully Ray, these guys helping. But those and look where they all are now. You know what I mean? And it's cool to hear that that's kind of happening again. Where do you see yourself? I know you're working with TNA now. Where do you see yourself in that? Do you consider yourself kind of an old guard trying to help these young guys out, or what do you view yourself as?
I mean, I do naturally. I don't wrestle that much anymore. I can still wrestle. I wouldn't wrestle more than 6 times a year for TNA, I imagine. Mm-hmm. But I'll take guys aside and say, hey man, that was awesome. That was awesome. One little thing, if you want to tweak, and everyone's pretty receptive to it. Mm-hmm. But it's an incredible group. We know who we got. We know our guys. We know that we can take this guy and put him up with anybody in the world. It's going to be a sick match. And the locker room's awesome, man. It's awesome. Yeah. It really is. I'm trying to think of a guy who's, let's say it's Seth Rollins. And we can put tons of guys against Seth Rollins and have, obviously, Josh Alexander, Frankie Kazarian, Alex Shelley's insane. Yeah. Sabin, those guys are been around forever. Mm-hmm. But look at the ABC, Rascals. These guys are incredible.
Yeah. Alex Shelley, I got to say, so I met Alex Shelley. So I did a little thing with New Japan here right before New Japan kind of came to the United States. They were checking it out. And they gave me a call. They flew into San Francisco and we did a show together. And Alex Shelley was on the show, and so was Shinsuke Nakamura and Kushida. But yeah. I couldn't say enough nice things about Alex Shelley.
Oh, he as a person, you mean?
Yeah, we exchanged phone numbers beforehand, because the New Japan guys are you need to coordinate this with him, and so I texted with him. He had no idea who I was. You know what I mean? And was the nicest guy.
Oh, he's the nicest guy.
Yeah, he was he was kind of injured, didn't care, still did it. It was right when they started. I think he did the time splitters with Kushida. That was right when they were going to put that together. And like I said, all the New Japan guys that came through were all great. But I remember specifically walking away and saying, "Man, nicest guy." You know what I mean?
Yeah, super nice.
Yeah,
he has a history of he was a physiotherapist before, and he knew I have some tennis elbow and I have a torn labrum. So every week, we go to TV. He's always asking me, how the body parts are doing, how they're coming along, and he'll give me some extra exercises. So funny enough, I saw 2004 when I was living in Japan. A buddy of mine, George Kiriakou, he was wrestling for 0-1 as Jason Legend with the mask and the chainsaw and everything. And he pointed out Alex Shelley. And Alex Shelley, I didn't realize how young he was at the time. Because right now, oh man, hold on. He's like 10 years younger than me. So he was like 20, give or take, like maybe 18, maybe 22. But my buddy was saying that guy is like next level. He's teaching all the Japanese guys how to chain wrestle. He's so smooth and so good. And, you know, I didn't even meet him because I was watching over in Corrigan Hall and I saw him in the ring. And I just knew who he was as he was like, you know, this prodigy. And 20 years later, the guy's like, you know, he's the champ, right? It's amazing.
Yeah. That's awesome. Who do you think are some of the younger guys in TNA that you see being kind of the next crop of the guys, you know?
Well, I tell you, Will Osprey is a free agent coming up soon, man. Yeah. And like, yeah, he can go to WWE and he'll get lots of money. But I don't know if he's that kind of guy. AEW too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still young, man. That's the crazy thing. He's still super young. I hope he considers. See, a lot of guys that have the potential, someone like Will Osprey and CM Punk, for example, if they know that they can help take the company to the next level, that is a huge feather in their cap. Not that I went to an already established company and made more money. Like they have lots of money. But I think it becomes about legacy sometimes. And if they say, yeah, when I came there, now we're rivaling AEW. Yeah. And you know, that's huge, man. Like that's a huge thing to be able to say that you did that. So I hope that appeals to them as much as I want it to appeal to them, because I'd love to see what they can do. I'd love to say, hey, guys, we're going to this stadium, like jump to the next level of arena. Instead of 2,000 people, let's get 12,000 people. I think we could do it. We just got to get on a bigger channel where we're in more households. But with regards to product, and everyone says that, you go online, you're like, yeah, WWE, AEW, they got the marketing machines, the superstars. But when you look at in-ring product, TNA is right there, man. If not better.